Welcome to the Health by Haven podcast. I'm your host, Haven Quinlan. If you're a multi-passionate wellness enthusiast, then you're in the right place. I'm obsessed with learning as much as I can about the wellness world, and I want to share that with you. Each episode will dive into various aspects of health and wellness through inspiring and informative guest interviews with some solo episodes thrown in. Tune in for all things health, and let's have some fun, shall we? Today on the podcast, we have my friend Megan. I'm so excited to take this opportunity selfishly to catch up with her a little bit, but she and I met in Columbia, South Carolina through Pure Barre, and she's an amazing Pure Barre instructor. So I had to have her come on the podcast, talk all things Pure Barre, how she got into it, tips for being a fitness instructor, all the good stuff. So thanks so much, Megan, for coming on today.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to get to catch up with you a little bit. And I have loved the podcast so far. So I feel really honored just to be here with you.
You are too sweet. You're going to honor us today with all of your goodness and knowledge. So I guess let's back up all the way from the start. Talk to us a little bit about kid Megan, and did you play sports growing up? What did that look like for you as a kid?
Yeah, so as a child, sports were not my thing. I was more into music and dance. And so I loved to sing. I played piano for a little bit. And I danced pretty much all of my childhood up through high school. So music and movement have been two really big parts of my life for a very, very long time, since I can remember. And I have always had a passion for fitness. I think that developed through dance, but never really knew what to do with that. And so, college came around and, got busy with school and sorority and events and things like that. And I found myself I would go to the gym and I would just kind of find things to do, whether that was through social media at the time or just things that I've seen or done in the past. But I remember going into a gym felt like a world that I didn't belong in almost. I didn't quite know what to do with myself in that space. So when I graduated college, I had a friend who had discovered Pure Barre, and she was telling me about it and what it was. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I can do that. That sounds like fun. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I came to find Pure Barre and fall in love with that. And now through Pure Barre, I get to combine my love of music and movement and teaching into one, which is really great. So
Yes, I love it. Well, I think so many people can relate to that feeling of if you've grown up in organized sport or dance in your case, which was how I did as well. And especially that musicality and being in a group setting and then going to college and not having that structure anymore, that group, and you're like, what do I do with myself? And so many people can feel intimidated by the gym if they don't have kind of something to follow. So I think certainly that's a feeling that other people can relate to. And so it sounds like finding Pure Barre was the perfect fit for you. So surely people who listen along have kind of gotten the gist of Pure Barre so far. But do you want to touch a little bit on what the technique is? I guess if somebody's listening and they're like, what the heck is Pure Barre?
Yeah, absolutely. So Pure Barre is, each class is about 45 to 50 minutes long. So you're in and out within an hour. And it targets the tiny muscles in your body. We focus on small isometric movements, to really tighten and tone your muscles. A lot of strength training involved in our classes as well. Everything is low impact, so it's super safe, which is something that is what makes Pure Barre so special and reach so many people because it's safe for all ages, body types. Limitations, injuries, things like that. There are so many ways you can modify movements in Pure Barre. But basically, it's a group fitness class, and you're going to work every single muscle in your body from head to toe in it. And yeah, we utilize, depending on the class type, there are several different class types because Pure Barre has evolved, which I've also been around for many of the different evolutions of Pure Barre. But it's evolved now to where we have 4 different class types. So you really can find what you're looking for under one roof, pretty much. We have our classic bar class, which is the kind of our bread and butter. It's again the class that focuses on small isometric movements. Everything's set to music. So if you're a dancer or if you're a musical person like I am, you'll really appreciate that. Um, and we have an Empower class, which is our cardio based class. So we utilize a platform and wrist or ankle weights in that class. And the goal of it is to really get your heart rate up and you're going to sweat. And I like to tell people it's like classic, but on steroids. Uh, and then we have our Align class, which is focuses on stretching. And we have our Define class, which is our newest rollout, which I absolutely love.
Hmm.
That is more strength training. And so we utilize heavier dumbbell weights and focus on progressive overload. And it has just been a game changer, I think, for um, Pure Barre, and our clients absolutely love it as well. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a little bit about what Pure Barre is. There's so much more to it than that. I think the biggest takeaway that I would hope people would get is that Pure Barre is for everybody.
Yeah, I have gotten my mom into it. Actually, I haven't told you this. But it's
Yay!
so fun. It's so fun to take class with her when she comes and takes my class. It's just so much fun. So it really is like all ages and abilities. Like you said, there's so many people who come into class like with injuries or, like people who are pregnant or postpartum or things like that as well. And it's
Right.
not just for women. I think that's a misconception. We have a good little crew of men at the Knoxville studio, so that's fun as well. But yeah, the Define class when that started, I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I don't really love to like lift figure weights. Like, we'll see. But I agree. I actually like love it now.
Well,
So
okay, and it's funny that you mentioned that because like I think that is the beautiful thing about Define is that because I'm the same way. I don't know the first thing or didn't know the first thing about lifting weights and it wasn't really something that interested me, but when Pure Barre rolled out Define, it kind of made the idea of lifting heavier weights more, it just was more approachable to me. I think
yeah.
maybe just because it was in a format that I already knew and loved. But Pure Barre and every Pure Barre studio that I've been to is so good at just creating an environment that is safe and comfortable. And so I think it was just like I felt so comfortable and safe in that space to try something new like this that I
Yeah.
had never done before. And now I absolutely love it. And it has just elevated my fitness experiences. And now I love lifting weights. So,
I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? It's a great one. Talk to us about like from when your friend told you, "Hey, I go to this studio. It's called Pure Barre. Like this is what the class is like. You might like it." And when you actually like walked in and like tried your first class, do you remember that? Like what was that like?
absolutely. I can remember it vividly. So, I started my Pure Barre journey in Jacksonville, Florida at the Pure Barre Tapestry Park studio. And I remember walking in and being greeted by just the most beautiful, happy, smiling person at the front desk. And they took me, walked with me side by side, took me back into the studio space, spent time with me before class to get to know me, my past experiences with fitness, and explain to me what to expect from this workout class today. And that for me was already like, okay, you've got me. Like, you took the time, you care about me, you care about my experience, I can tell. And you've made me already feel more comfortable because I was nervous. I mean, it is so hard to put yourself out there and go into a space that you have never been in before and you don't know anything about. And that for me already set them apart. But then when I took the class itself, I was like, first of all, what was that? What are these muscles that I'm now feeling that I've never felt before? And then, second of all, I loved it. It was so fun. I remember after the class was over, I was like, wow, it's over. Like, that didn't even feel like a workout because I was having so much fun. And that was so eye opening for me that, like, okay, fitness should make you feel good. Fitness should be fun, and it can be fun when you find the right thing in the right place. And so, I mean, after that, I was like, yep, sign me up. And how do I get all this cute clothing that you guys are wearing? Because
Yeah, for real. Okay, I love that you said that because I think there is like a common misconception that like you have to be torturing yourself to get a good workout. And don't get me wrong, it's really challenging. But also like you should find the platform or the class or the modality that you love that makes you like excited to move your body. Like this sounds like a giant Pure Barre ad. I wish Pure Barre was paying us for this. They are not. Megan and I both just truly love it, but like it's because we genuinely like love going into the studio and like moving our body that way and finding the community there. And so like to anyone listening, whether it's Pure Barre or not, like I hope that you can find that thing that makes you like want to go back and makes you excited to work out. But as a side note to the cute clothes, what are your favorite like fitness brands to wear?
oh, this is a fun question. I personally, my all-time favorite, if you're a bar or yoga or Pilates girl or person and that's your thing, Beyond Yoga is probably my favorite. It has been my favorite since I started taking Pure Barre. I remember that was like one of the first brands that I learned about. And so, and I still have a closet full of Beyond Yoga, and they're such good quality and comfortable. Of course, I love Lulu. Varley has been another favorite of mine, although recently I feel like they've kind of been trending more toward like daily wear and kind of out of athleisure a little bit. But yeah, they're all so good. I'm trying to think. Aloe has been a favorite, of
Mhm.
course. I mean, I also love Spiritual Gangster. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch. There's so many more now too that
I know. And all the sets, they're so cute. So see if you don't want to go to a workout, just put on a cute workout outfit and it'll make you want to exercise.
that's a real thing. That is a
Yeah.
real thing. Think about when you go, whatever you do for work, if you are, showered, clean, your hair's done, your makeup's done, you have a cute outfit on, how much better does your day go? I think
Yeah.
it's the same thing with your workouts. And I know that's probably like a silly thing. And of course, I'm not saying that you have to be cute to work out. I think that it makes a difference, when you feel confident in yourself, that translates into whatever you're doing in your day. And kind of same thing with fitness and exercise.
Absolutely. Okay, so getting us back on Pure Barre. Um, talk to us about like from that first class when you were like, yes, this is it. I love it. I want to come back. I want to sign up. From that first class to becoming a Pure Barre instructor, like how did you become interested in that? How did you become an instructor?
When I first started, I kind of had always wanted to eventually maybe get to that place. But also at that time, I was just starting out my career and I was busy. So the first thing I did was I became, we used to call them bartenders back in the day. But basically, all that meant was that I worked behind the front desk. And so I got to be that smiling, friendly face to the people who were coming in for whether it was their first class or their thousandth class. And so I really got to know the clients that way and the team as well. And then after a couple of years in 2018 is when I went to classic training. And it had just kind of felt like the right time. I felt like I was getting settled in my career and I was able to devote the time to it. And my owner at the time was just so wonderful and so supportive and encouraging, and my lead teacher there as well. They just really equipped me with what I needed to feel confident and ready to take it on. So I became a teacher and have not stopped ever since. I just can't let it go.
We love it. We love it. Well, I know you've obviously moved around some, and Pure Barre has been a constant in your life between the moves. So, talk to us a little bit about like how it's evolved through your life, I guess. What role Pure Barre has played in like multiple moves, multiple studios and cities and states.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's one of the things that personally for me sets Pure Barre aside from other places or brands or workouts is the community. And you're right. I have moved several times. So I started teaching in Jacksonville. And then after that, we moved to Statesboro, Georgia, which did not have a Pure Barre studio. And I was like, well, this just can't happen. Where's the closest studio? So I then joined the Pure Barre Pooler studio and taught there for a little while. And that's where I became Empower trained as well. And then from there, we moved to Columbia, South Carolina, which is where we met.
Hmm.
And there is where I really got to take my love of Pure Barre to the next level. And I became the general manager of that studio for a little while. And then we moved to Auburn, Alabama, which is where I am now. And I'm currently teaching at the Pure Barre Auburn studio. If anyone out there has the a similar experience where you're moving constantly, I want to stress the importance of getting plugged into a community as quickly as possible and not sitting on it and letting it's so easy to just let time go by and oh yeah, I need to do that. I've been meaning to do that or yeah, I've passed you guys or I've seen this and I've wanted to do this, but life gets in the way, life happens. My tip is to just go all in right away. Like my husband laughs at me because every move that we make, I spend literally probably 1 week. It takes me 1 week to get everything unpacked, everything put up on the walls. Like it is I do it quick because I want to be settled. I want to jump into this next chapter. And I know for me personally, if I put it off, it just won't get done. So I think the same thing like with finding a community, do it right away. I mean, moving is crazy and moving is stressful, but you will thank yourself for it. And I have been fortunate enough to have Pure Barre in my life because with each move, it's been really easy for me to find a community of like minded individuals and supportive people who, I mean, the first time I walk in and meet someone, they're like, yeah, we should grab coffee or let me know if you ever want to go. out to dinner or out to lunch or something. And it's just amazing. And it can be really scary to put yourself out there, but fitness communities can be really great resources and really great places for you to start to find your new family and your new home.
I think that was so well said. And it seems to be a common thread on the podcast of people finding community no matter where they move within whatever fitness modality that they're interested in. And I think that that's just such great advice because one, you're going to find people who, like you said, are like-minded individuals who are interested in things that you're interested in as well. So you're already sharing that common thread. But then also like exercising gives you endorphins. You know, the L Woods, like endorphins makes you happy. And so you're already, yeah, you're already going to be like happy when you're around these people as well, which is just like a great foundation to start friendships. And so I think to your point, you're right. It can be really scary. First of all, just walking into a fitness studio the first time, like how you said your first class, and then also like starting over, especially as an adult, trying to make friends in a new city. And so it's just such a great way to meet people. I mean, basically post college, all of my friends as an adult have come from some sort of group fitness class and primarily from Pure Barre. So that's a really great advice. I want to dive a little bit more into like Columbia when you were general manager and you were also teaching. Like, what was that like? And I guess we should back up some because you'd mentioned your career and like for people who don't know you, you're a teacher. And so obviously, like teaching in the classroom probably lends itself really well to teaching a group fitness class too. So I guess this is two questions. Let's start with that. Like, how does the relationship between teaching in the classroom, teaching in Pure Barre, does it like overlap? Do you feel like one lends itself to another?
Yeah, so I teach third grade currently, and this will be my seventh year in education. I did take a little break to manage the Pure Barre studio in Columbia. But when we moved to Auburn, I just really felt called to come back to the classroom and back to education. And so, yeah, that's what I do by day. And then I'm a Pure Barre instructor by night, sometimes early morning. But yeah, so I think for me, like I have always been sort of a um, natural teacher and a natural leader. Um, and so I think it's so fun for me to be because I teach littles. It's so fun for me to apply some of like what I love about teaching into Pure Barre and teaching adults. Two totally different experiences.
Yeah.
But there's certainly so many things that overlap. I mean, in teaching, I prioritize forming positive relationships with my students. Same thing in teaching Pure Barre. I'm prioritizing those relationships with my clients, being able to explain things in a way that someone understands easily is not something that is natural.
Yeah.
And so, absolutely, there's some overlap between the two. I think what's really cool about Pure Barre and teaching Pure Barre is that the clients can express themselves a little bit more clearly, actually a lot more clearly than like my third grade students can. And so it's just really rewarding for me to be able to have a positive impact on somebody else's life, whether it's a child or an adult at Pure Barre. That's just really important to me. And that's kind of what I feel like my purpose is here on this earth is to positively impact people and help change the world. So it's a big goal. It's been fun to be able to sort of apply like teaching strategies into teaching Pure Barre as well. I remember like going through college of education, and they talk about, how you want to specifically praise your students. often for things that they are doing well or have shown growth in. And you talk about the difference between good job, Haven, and wow, Haven, I love the way that you used neat handwriting and capital letters on your paper. Okay, praise versus specific praise. And that's something that we do as Pure Barre teachers too, is we try to provide specific praise to clients. You know, Haven, great job. I love the way that you pushed yourself in that plank and held on that extra 10 seconds. You know, calling them out for specific things makes that experience for them more personal. And so that's just one example of kind of how the two can overlap.
Just hearing you say that makes me miss taking your classes because you are just, guys, she's just the most genuine, like encouraging person in general, but like instructor as well. So just like gives me a warm heart.
You are so sweet, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I miss taking your classes as well. So,
One day we'll be in the same city. But okay, well, I was gonna kind of ask you your advice for group fitness instructors to bring on like an even better class, but I just feel like you gave us such a good nugget right there. So
yeah.
maybe talk more about like to the person who might be interested in becoming group fitness instructor. Like I feel like when I was like, I want to be a Pure Barre instructor, that I was like scouring like podcasts, blogs, everywhere. I was like, I want to know everything. Like I want all the tips. Like how can I get into this world? Like how can I do it? So if there's somebody listening who's like maybe takes your class all the time, like what advice would you give them if they want to take that next step and become an instructor?
Just do it. Go for it. Absolutely. It can be scary and overwhelming, but if that's something that you feel like you're being led to do or called in that direction, just do it. Depending on what realm of the fitness world you're wanting to enter, I think this advice could kind of go for any of it. Be genuine, like just be yourself. When I first started teaching, it was easy for me to get caught up in like wanting to do what another instructor did or wanting to be like another instructor. And there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, that's how we learn, we grow from other people. But you bring something unique to the table as you are. And it's going to take time for you to kind of figure out what that is, but just lean into that and be true to yourself and be genuine in how you deliver your classes and lean on other people too for support and for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think the fitness world can be very competitive, but it doesn't have to be among instructors. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
lean on each other for help. It's hard. It can be a hard job and it can be an emotional job as well because you're investing in people. Anytime that you're investing in people, emotions can get involved. It can feel heavy. It's a big responsibility, absolutely. And you're going to want to have people in your corner and on your team to support you in those moments where you're like, ah, you know,
Yeah.
I just don't know if I can do this anymore. So yeah, I mean, my advice would be A, do it, don't overthink it. Um, Clearly you have this calling and this feeling, lean into it and see where it goes. And then two, just be genuine and be true to who you are and you will find what it is that makes your classes special and unique as you develop in your journey. Um, and also, too, like own who you are because I think as fitness instructors, it can be really easy to fall into like the imposter syndrome. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for me, I can talk about my own personal experience. Like, I can sometimes feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing in this space? I'm not as strong as so and so, or I'm not, you know, taking classes as often as so and so. And it can be really easy to get into your head about that sort of thing, but it's so much more than that. And you're going to go through seasons of your life. I mean, I've been teaching Pure Barre since 2018. So you are going to go through seasons of your life where you're going to be more present. And then there are going to be seasons where you can't be as present. And that's okay. Your clients are not thinking those things about you. Your clients are inspired by you. So just remember that in those moments when you feel like that imposter syndrome is creeping up, like repeat it to yourself. No, there is space for me here. There is room for me here. I am meant to be doing this. Hold fast to that.
I love it. And maybe this is similar advice. I don't know. I hope I'm not being redundant, but to the person who's listening who maybe doesn't have any sort of fitness routine or they like do stuff on their own, but they've really been interested in trying a group fitness class, like whether it's Pure Barre or not, like what would you say to them?
Think about how doing that fitness class or becoming that fitness instructor or doing that thing, whatever it is, will impact your life, and let that drive your action. If you feel like taking this group fitness class is going to bring you a community or it's going to help you reach a certain goal that you have for yourself, a fitness goal that you have for yourself, a health goal that you have for yourself, if you think that that thing is going to bring you a positive change in your life, think about that, hold to that, and let that be your motivation. And it can be scary. It can be intimidating. Absolutely. And I don't want to diminish that. And if you're feeling those things and listening to this, your feelings are completely valid and it's okay. I was also intimidated, but I'm so glad that I did it. And I've done other group fitness classes too, right? And of course, every single one is intimidating. And some of them didn't work for me. I didn't like them. I didn't enjoy them. That's not to say that they were bad workouts or that it's not an effective class. It's just, it wasn't for me. So, it's okay to feel intimidated. However, the faster or the quicker that you just get up and conquer that and just do it, that's one step closer you are to whatever goal it is that you have or finding that right place for you. And I also want to encourage whoever is listening out there trying to find that thing that lights their soul on fire or that thing that, that fitness class or that type of exercise that they do love. Don't give up. Try it all. You'll know when you've found the thing that you enjoy and you love. Don't be discouraged if you take a class somewhere or you try an exercise and you failed. It's okay. That's part of life. And not everything is for everyone. That's okay. Keep trying. Try all the things, do all the things, embrace change, embrace growth. It can be really hard to do, but think about how doing that thing is going to positively impact your life and just do it.
Mic drop. So,
Just do the things. And I mean, listen, I need this talk as much as anyone else, right?
same.
I hope that anyone out there who is listening and is feeling a little bit lost or a little bit, unsure of themselves and where they fit in or what is the space for them, that, you just know that there is space for you, and you are going to find that thing eventually. And to just keep going and keep trying. And failure is a part of life. It's how what's that saying? It's how we react or how we respond to that failure or that mistake or that, experience, how we respond to it and what we do with it, that defines our lives. So Keep trying. Don't give up on yourself because you're worth it, and lean on other people. People will surprise you. And I think it's really easy nowadays for like us to get caught up in the crazy events of the world. And there's a lot of negativity that can be easily spread these days through social media, but people will surprise you. People are good. I just firmly believe that like people are innately good, and most people you come in contact are going to want to help you or are going to be nice to you. So let that sort of be a comfort to any of you who are afraid to put yourself out there, you know?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I think we all like need you in our ear as a motivational speaker every morning. I love it.
Well, like I said, I need to hear this just as much as anybody else out there.
So well put. So motivating and inspiring. I'm like, I'm gonna go like run to the end of the world or something after this.
You can do it, Haven.
Oh
You
my
can do
gosh.
it. If anyone could run around the world, it would be you.
Oh gosh.
And
You
I
are
just
so
want to say
sweet.
too, like while we're kind of on the topic of growth and change and putting yourself out there, you have been such an inspiration, not only to me, but probably to so many other people who are listening to this. Like you putting yourself out there the way that you are and just jumping headfirst into your dreams and the goals that you have for yourself. It is just so fun to watch. I'm so inspired by you, and I'm so proud of you for doing it and
Oh.
taking the leap. You're amazing, and you're changing lives.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I paid her to say that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, she
You
did
are
not.
too sweet. You are too sweet. Thank you, Megan. That's very kind. Well, I feel like a warm hug, but I'm gonna switch us into some more like fun questions.
Oh, I
And
love
well, I
it.
feel like the first one is like obvious after what we've spent the last hour talking about, but what's your favorite workout?
Oh gosh, I don't know. This is a tough one. Um, Definitely by far it's Pure Barre, but I will go even further to say that it's Pure Barre Classic is my favorite workout. You just can't go wrong with it. And it's a technique that's been around for a really long time and it's been tried and true. And there's nothing about it that I don't like. So Pure Barre Classic, that's my answer.
Yay. I was gonna ask what your favorite class type is. So what's your favorite like exercise within? Like what like muscle group? What is your favorite in classic class?
Ooh, it's a toss up between arms and thighs.
Yes. Okay. I love those ones too. I
Yeah.
actually secretly like warm up the least.
I don't think that's so secret with me.
Oh, I like to tell people if they can get through warm up, they can get through class because man, it is like sneaky tough.
It is real tough.
Yeah.
I also really love the abs though too.
Yeah.
It's so hard
Yeah.
to hard to pick just one. I can tell you my least favorite, if that's
What's that?
helpful. Seat.
Yeah. It's my least favorite for sure when reform was a thing, and seat was my least favorite for that for sure.
Girl, absolutely.
Oh man. Seat is your bottom if you're listening and you don't know pure bar terms.
Right. That would be important to explain.
Oh,
That's not
people
to
can
say,
probably
I
gap.
mean, listen, hear me out. I love the results that I get from it, but I can't say that I love doing it all the time.
Oh yeah, you and me both. What is your favorite type of playlist to teach to? Because you guys, Megan builds like the most fun playlists for her classes.
You are so kind. I tell people I am a music snob. Um, and that is one of my favorite things to do, low key, is create a playlist. What is my favorite type of music to put on there? I don't know. I kind of have fun creating different vibes. Like when I create a playlist, I start with the vibe. Am I going
Yes.
2000s? Am I going a little bit more like EDM vibe on this one? Do I want a little bit more of like a mix of like punk rock sort of a vibe? Um,
Mhm.
So I don't know. I like it all. Like I said, I'm a musical person. It's really hard for me to say like a genre of music that I like the most because I truly listen to it all and love it all.
Yes. Okay. That's fair. Well, I like a vibe too. Maybe we have to leak your Spotify or something because I miss stealing your playlists off the
You should.
iPod.
Happy to share.
Okay. What's your favorite food? Or maybe a few favorites because I know it's a really hard question.
That is so tough. I would have to say that my favorite food is probably is probably French fries.
Yes.
Or like a potato in any form. I just love a potato.
Wait, what's the is French fries your favorite style? The reason I asked this, context for people, Billy and I like played a game where we ranked like the best way to eat a potato, like all the different forms. So now I need
Ooh,
to know.
that's that's a good question. Yeah, I would say a French fry is definitely my favorite form,
Hmm.
although there are many different forms of French fry. What
Right.
do
Do
you
you
think
want
out there?
shoestring? Do you want a steak fry?
You will get me every time with a crinkle cut fry that is just crispy enough on the outside, but soft on the inside. Um, yeah. Also, I love a sweet potato.
Mm,
Give me a sweet potato with
yes.
some butter and brown sugar. Yes,
Yeah. You're making me hungry now. I'm like,
I
where can
know.
I go get potatoes? Oh man. Okay. What is one like if you have any new like wellnessy products or skincare or classes or like anything that you're like loving lately that we should check out?
Mm, it's a really good question. I have really been loving, I got this serum from IS Clinicals for it's for your skin that I is have found to be an absolute game changer. I
Oh.
don't know, I can't tell you off the top of my head like where you can find it, but it's a little blue bottle and it's IS Clinical. Um, and it is amazing.
Oh, good to know. It's like moisturizing.
It's just like a serum that you put on your skin, and I don't know, it just clears up any imperfections. Like if my skin is feeling super dry, or I'm having a breakout, or some redness, I'll put that on at night, and the next morning I feel like I'm glowing. So
Oh, love that. I'm gonna need
yeah, we love that.
some.
I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of anything else that I've been really into lately. I feel like lately I've just been really trying to prioritize like mental health and mental well-being. So finding things to help support that.
Yes, absolutely. A good book, or like you're so great at like home decor. Like that's probably relaxing to like style stuff.
I have been reading so much more again this year,
Yeah.
and it truly has been so nice. For me personally, it's really easy for me to fall down like a rabbit hole when I'm watching TV or I'm scrolling on social media. I will scroll or I will start watching TV, and then an hour and a half later, I'm like, what have I done with my life?
Yeah.
And so I have recently been trying to like when I feel those urges to just like zone out and turn my mind off instead of turning to the TV or turning to social media, going for a book. And reading a book is so much more life-giving to me
Yes.
than watching TV or scrolling. So I've had a lot of fun reading a lot of like summer, like romance novels.
Yes, that's what I want to read too. Like, I don't want to be reading anything serious when I'm reading. I just want to like use it as a fun time. So, what have you read lately? Because I'm reading, this is it's a year old now, but I'm reading, oh my gosh, I just blanked on it. That's not helpful at all. What's the
No.
Emily Henry? What's her one
Yeah.
from last year? Something summer it was from last summer. Do you
Yeah.
know?
I know what one you're talking about, but gosh, if I can remember the name of it. Well, recently I read The Paradise Problem. It's by Christina Lauren, and that book was so good. I told my mom, I was like, this book reads like a movie. They need to make a movie out of this.
Oh,
There's anyone out
yes.
there that's listening to this. Let me just put it into the universe. I would go see it in a heartbeat. It was so funny and so good and so well written. And Christina Lauren, she also wrote, oh gosh, what was the other book that I read that she wrote?
Okay, I've read one of hers that I loved, The Unhoneymooners. Did you read that one?
Ooh, I
Isn't
haven't
that
read
her?
that. No,
I
I
think
haven't read
that's
that one
her.
yet.
Okay, I'll mail it to you because I've already read it. It's so good.
Please do. No, I think the other one that I read from her was Love and Other Words, and that one was so good as well.
Okay, these are all great ones to check out. Also, I remembered the one I was talking about that I'm reading right now is called Happy Place.
Yes, I've seen that one. I haven't read it. Yeah,
Okay, well, I'll send that one to you as well when I'm done. Just remind me.
you are amazing. I have also really loved, for any of the book lovers out there, Abby Jimenez. Her books are so good. I don't want to put them down. I recently read her, I think it's her newest one, Just for the Summer. And that one is another one of my all-time favorite books.
Okay, I haven't heard of her, so I'm gonna check her out too. Do you read on the Kindle or do you read like physical books?
Great question. I feel very passionate about this answer. I read the books, the physical books.
Yeah. Okay.
I just, there's something about, and maybe it's the teacher in me, but there's just something about having a book in your hands and like physically flipping that page and then
hmm
closing it when you're finished with it. I don't know. Books are just magical. And again, this is the teacher in me coming out, but it's like, I feel so passionately about instilling a love of reading into children. And this day and age, technology is great. And I think Kindles are great. There's nothing wrong with them. But putting a book in your hands, I don't know. You're like being transported into another world.
Oh, yes, that's like the perfect way to frame it. I agree. I like sometimes so I have like the library app on the iPad so I can read there because I don't want to like buy books I'm only going to read once, but then I never like progress through them as quickly. I like just see the progress in like a physical
Yes.
book.
Yes. Like I can look at it and see, okay, how much time is
Yeah.
left? Or if it's a really good book, I'm like, gosh, how can I like milk this a little bit longer?
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, great recommendations. I'm gonna have to check those ones out.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for the rapid fire questions?
Rapid fire. Let's go, baby.
Okay. Morning or evening workout?
Morning.
Running or walking?
Walking.
Lifting or body weight?
Oh, body weight.
Pure Barre classic for you.
Yeah.
Um, Indoor or outdoor workout?
Indoor.
Juice or smoothie?
Smoothie.
Coffee or matcha?
Coffee.
I knew it would be like iced coffee in hand.
You know me well.
Salad or bowl?
Bowl.
Pizza or pasta?
No.
I know it's the hardest one. It's so mean.
Pasta.
Tacos or quesadilla?
Tacos.
An early riser or night owl?
Okay, lately it's been early riser.
Oh,
I used to be a night owl. My husband's a night owl. But lately, I've been really loving waking up early and just like having a few minutes to myself before I get my day started. That's been a game changer for me. Like the days that I get myself up early and I devote even just 20 minutes for me to just have some quiet time, make my coffee or whatever it is that I want to do that morning. That is a game changer for my day. I tend to have a more productive and happier day when I'm not feeling rushed in the morning or crazed. So yeah, early riser, but that wasn't
yeah.
always the case.
I remember you being a night owl. So yeah, I mean, I guess though, like teaching, you probably have to be an early riser.
Yes, that going back into teaching definitely changed my schedule a lot. Having to get up in the morning every morning at 5 o'clock. It's real hard to kind of come back from that once you're into it. So, but listen, we're talking about wellness. I am a huge advocate for sleep.
Yes, people undervalue that so much. It is not a badge of honor to say you've only slept 4 hours. Stop it, people. Get your rest.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I just know that about myself. If I don't get enough sleep at night, it's it's gonna be a rough day for me.
Same. I feel that. Okay, well, if people want to take your bar class, if they're in Auburn, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Pure Bar Auburn. We're located in Moores Mill. And I'm going to kind of like tie in to what I started the podcast with. I found Pure Barre after college. However, living in a college town too, if you are in college currently, gosh, I wish I had found it sooner. Like,
Yeah.
that would have helped to make the transition from college into like adult world, real world, quote unquote, so much easier. So if you're in college, I don't know, find a local Pure Barre studio or find a local, whatever it is for you that interests you. Find it, go for it. It's expensive. I know. Take advantage of maybe your parents paying for it a few more years.
Yes. Thanks, mom
But
and dad.
it's an investment and you'll meet a lot of great people through it. And I wish I had found it sooner.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Ah, Megan, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. It was just so fun getting to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming on today.
It was so good to do this and catch up with you. And I'm like feeling so happy and encouraged by our conversations as well. And I'm just so proud of you and so happy for you. And I miss you.
Oh, I'm proud of you and happy for you and miss you too.
Go change the world.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Health by Haven podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to give the show a 5-star rating and leave a review. It makes such a huge difference in reaching new people and spreading the joy of healthy living. I would also be so appreciative if you subscribe to the show in the listening app of your choice so you never miss an episode. Your support truly means the world to me. Have a happy, healthy day, and I'll talk to you again soon.